White men are the problem. White men, and white men particularly who desire power, money, are the problem. White men who cannot control their urges are the problem. White men who present a face of honesty and rectitude and caring, but who aren't, who are essaying children, are the problem. The secrecy is the problem. God help us all.
Oops, I don't think they meant for that to happen. In the process of people going through Epstein files and
Shalom. First and foremost, you want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakha Kodash. Double honors and salutations to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Much respect to you brothers out on the highways and byways pushing this truth with fear and sincerity. And shalom to the hopeful light, Shabbat Chalakar, come back at you with another video. And as you can see, the covering cast is being lifted, right? The darkness, the gross darkness, which people are still going to be in gross darkness, regardless of, how the Lord set this thing up. But for the most part, Esau, Edom, is being exposed on every front. So we know we getting closer in this thing, man. There's no doubt about it, right? The wicked has been, accused, not even accused, just being exposed, right, for all the wickedness in their society, right, in their kingdom. And I got this video from the brother Arrows of Indignation, 1442. But nevertheless, your women, Esau, is even starting to see, they're starting to turn. Even Edomite women don't matter. We know that not all so-called white men are from the stock of Esau, Edom. Same thing with the woman. But for the most part, everybody can see that this devil, the so-called white man today, who is Esau, Edom, he has been in secret about who he truly is. He's had these secret societies. He's done all of this wickedness in the earth, right? What scriptures am I looking for? It says, he's been dwelling carefully, right? Carelessly. Yeah, carelessly, Salakia. Let me get that. I think it's Isaiah 47, maybe? Hold on. Isaiah 1444. The call Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahshua Bashir Kakadash. Isaiah 47:8 in the NLT, it says, "Listen to this, you pleasure-loving kingdom, living at ease and feeling secure. You say, I am the only one and there is no other. I will never be a widow or lose my children. Well, both these things will come upon you in a moment, widowhood and the loss of children. Yes, these calamities will come upon you despite your witchcraft and magic. You felt secure in your wickedness. No one seized me, you said, but your wisdom and knowledge have led you astray. And you said, I am the only one and there is no other. So disaster will overtake you and you won't be able to charm it away. Calamity will fall upon you and you won't be able to buy your way out. A catastrophic will strike you suddenly, and suddenly one for which you are not prepared." So the Lord got this devil in a trick bag, right? And the people are starting to notice, like, hey, what's going on here? Like I've been saying previously in my videos, you got the small hats calling this place the second leg of Rome, right? The empire that's going to be destroyed, that has beef with, Amalek and Esau got, a problem with the Israelis, like. But annually, if you do a little bit of research, we give, and I say we as the United States of America, Babylon the Great gives the small hat nation, the tiny tops, $3 billion annually, right? So $3 billion is going to that place annually, every year. So, and we got starving people here. We got homeless. We got people in need. But we're giving our money, our tax money to the small hats, which they think this place is going to be destroyed. But that covering cast, right, is being, lifted, right? As a matter of fact, let me get that real quick. Isaiah 25. And 7. It says, and I will destroy in this mountain, right, this government, this rulership, the face of the covering cast over all people, and the veil that is spread over all nations. So all the nations are mad. The allies are, Turkey, NATO. They're looking at America like, we don't want to help you. You keep doing this and that in the earth, right? We just started 2026. We're in the month of March. And this devil just going around campaigning, taking, using the sword, for his benefit, because that was his blessing, was the sword, right? And, look at what's happening. The affordability president just gave us the biggest spike in oil prices in 43 years. Let that sink in, right? 43 years ago, I'm not even 43. Gas was probably like $1 maybe, right? And it probably went up from like 50 cents to a gallon, something around that. But this devil, right, going around trying to take oil and whatnot, but our gas is going up, oil prices going up. They can't get in the Strait of Hormuz, and deliver oil from A to B. Iran is not letting it happen. So expect your gas to continue to rise, inflation, because the dollar is sinking too. Look at this. Look, all of these, they lost trillions of dollars, overnight. Trillions of dollars overnight. $1 trillion of wealth. So we know inflation, stagflation, it's on its way, right? It's going to continue because of these devils in power. But the Lord is removing that, right? He's removing that, and these devils can't hide, right? They over there talking about a 4-day war. Now it's turned into a week. Now what else? How long is this going to, last? And we see that U.S. is losing its armor, right? It's being blown up. Just a lot of stuff is transpiring because of this devil. Isaiah 29:15, woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord Yahweh, and their works are in the dark, and they say, who seeth us and who knoweth us, right? Woe to you if you're trying to hide, right? Because eventually it's going to come out. Eventually everything will be uncovered. Eventually you will have no place to hide. Luke 12:2, for there is nothing uncovered that shall not be revealed, neither hid that shall not be known. Therefore whatsoever ye have spoken in darkness shall be heard in the light, and that which ye have spoken in the ear in the closet shall be proclaimed upon the housetops. Right? So shameful spewing. This devil's been, exposed for his wickedness in the earth. How he runs the earth, his secret societies. Everything is coming to the forefront for us. So this devil has nothing left to do but to further push the sword, right? Revelation 12:12, rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell therein, for the devil shall come upon you, having great wrath, right? This is Nahum 3, and we know Nahum was dealing with Nineveh. Nahum 3:4, it says, because of the multitude of the whoredoms and of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcraft that selleth nations through her whoredoms, and families through the witchcraft, behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will show the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame. Right? And we see in the shame, the shameful spewing, a bunch of PDF file, blood drinking, kid sacrifice, kid killing, putting their kids in harm's way. Right? Here it is, it's supposed to be the face of the world, face of Christianity, the face of everything's holy and good. But come to find out, the so-called white man is the real terrorist that's in the earth that needs to be eradicated out, and he's going to be. Read that again. Behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord, Yahweh of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will show the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame. And I will cast abominable filth upon thee, and make thee foul, and set thee as a gazing stock. And it will come to pass that all they that look upon thee shall flee from thee, and say, Nineveh is laid waste. Who will bemoan her? Whence shall I seek comforters for thee? Right? We would have healed Babylon, but she can't be healed. Right? The Lord knows your secrets. The Lord gave you the power to do all these things. He has made you naked. He has exposed you, Esau, Edom. And the Lord is going to continue to expose, and this devil is going to have nothing to do but to come hard down with the sword. Wrap it up. We've been exposed. We've been found out. What else left to do is to persecute the people, right? Go on with your new world order and persecute, right? Do what you do best.
Power, money are the problem. White men who cannot control their urges are the problem. White men who present a face of honesty and rectitude and caring, but who aren't, who are essaying children, are the problem. The secrecy is the problem. God help us all.
Oops, I don't think they meant for that to happen. In the process of people going through Epstein files and STDs and looking through history and all of these things, and looking at the people who are in charge of our country right now and the ultra far right leaning ideology, specifically those saying that whites are supposed to be the superior race. What they didn't expect to happen would be that people would start figuring out that the worst human beings are in fact white men. More specifically,
The worst human beings are in fact white men. Whew. Esau, man, their own women. They don't want you. They secretly want Jake. They just with you because you have the power. Proverbs 3:34. Surely he scorneth the scorners, but he giveth grace unto the lowly. The wise shall inherit glory, but shame shall be promotion of fools. Nothing but shame is coming from this devil. Right? He's been exposed. Our timing is up. Right? We're still under the curses. We're still here under this devil, but the curses have been lifted. Right? They've been transitioned. Right? Into our oppressors, the people that hate us. Right? So, like I said, only thing that's going to come from this is Esau is going to want blood, man. He's going to want blood. Right? He's not going to rest until he takes over, right? Because he's watching the righteous, right? He's watching the men of the Lord bring out this truth against him, and everybody, is getting hip to it. People may not understand it fully, but they're starting to question, why am I Republican? Why am I MAGA? Why am I liberal? Why am I this? Why am I that? Psalms 37:32, the wicked watches the righteous and seeketh to slay him. The Lord Yahweh will not leave him in his hand, nor condemn him when he is judged. Wait on the Lord Yahweh and keep his way, and he shall exalt thee to inherit the land. When the wicked are cut off, thou shalt see it. Right? We're patiently waiting for that day that the Lord is going to take this devil out. Right? We're going to be exalted, right, along with Yahushua in the earth. And we're going to rule this place in righteousness and not in wickedness. Right? We're going to have the law, statute, commandments written in our inward parts. We're not going to go off. We're going to have everything and anything that we want. And we're going to have the heathen, for a prayer. As a matter of fact, I think that's Psalms 1, right? Ask now and to give you the heathen. Is it 2? Yeah, it's 2 and 8. Psalms 2 and verse 8. We'll get straight to it. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the othermost parts of the earth for thy possession. Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron. Thou shalt dash them in pieces like the potter's vessel. Be wise now, therefore, O ye kings, be instructed, ye judges of the earth. Serve the Lord Yahweh with fear, and rejoice with trembling. Kiss the Son, lest he be angry, and ye perish from the way, when his wrath is kindled but a little. Blessed are all they that put their trust in him. So we trust and we waiting on the Lord. We're not waiting on any other way. All right, we're not waiting on any other way. But it's a beautiful time to see this devil get exposed. Right, it's a beautiful time to see him taking the cheese. Right, as the Lord is laying snares and traps for him, and he's going for it, thinking that he's going to be able to overcome. And like I said earlier, these allies are starting to turn against him. Come on. These allies are starting to turn against him. They're starting to, realize NATO, Turkey, the EU, right? They all turning against him. They're giving him weapons and whatnot to Iran. A lot of things are happening right now, and it's going to continue to happen. It's going to get worse and worse before any of this gets better. I really wanted that. Let's see. Obadiah 1, I think 2 or 3. Oh well. I just read it in the KJV. It says, the pride of Obadiah 3, the pride of thine heart have deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord Yahweh. Right? So the Lord is going to bring this devil down, even though if you don't know it or not. Right? If you don't get it, if you don't understand it. I don't know why that's not working. Obadiah 1 and 7. I start at 6 in the NLT. Every nook and cranny of Edom will be searched out and looted. Every treasure will be found and taken. All your allies will turn against you. And that's what we're seeing today. These allies are starting to turn against this place. They will help to chase you from your land. They will promise you peace while plotting to deceive and destroy you. Your trusted friends will set traps for you, and you won't even know about it.